2, 1. We allow to the audience. They can start the meeting. Over to you, sir.
Good morning, friends. On behalf of the LPC Young Leadership Team, I welcome you all to Life Pharma Coalition, and today is LPC 132. Well, it is said that our destiny is not created by the shoes we wear, but by the steps we take. So LPC has taken 131 steps before this, and today is the 132nd step towards learning and development. This has remained a constant platform where every Sunday we try to enrich our audience with some new avenues in learning and development in the pharmaceutical arena, where our wonderful speakers share something new that they have learned. And as it is said, that learning is sharing. So they try to share it with our audience so that everybody gets to know about the developments that are taking place in the pharmaceutical industry. Now, two of the most important topics that today's speakers are taking up is about complaint management and about servant leadership. So complaint is something that often jeopardizes the work that we do, because when there is a complaint, that means people are not satisfied. People are having some problem. So to get over this problem, and in the most amicable way, would be a way forward for the organizations so that we can keep people engaged to the organization and to their work. And that is one way of getting the productivity high. Leadership is another thing that also takes the organization forward, because there is a famous saying that people don't leave organizations, they leave managers. It is because when a manager is not good, there is always a high attrition as far as the organization is concerned. So often it is the leadership quality that keeps people interested and productive within an organization. Now, management is doing things right, but leadership is doing the right things. So in simple words, leadership is about taking risk and challenging the status quo, and leaders motivate others to achieve something new and something better. But in contrast, management is about delegating responsibilities and getting people to follow the rules to reduce the risk and deliver predictable outcomes. Unlike leaders, managers do not challenge the status quo. Instead, they strive to maintain it. They evaluate success by seeing if the team has achieved what was expected. Most importantly, leaders are visionaries, whereas managers are implementers. So leaders set goals for their team, and managers ensure that the goal set by their superiors is achieved within the stipulated time period. So to know more about it, we have our speakers today. But before that, let me take you through the journey of LPC so far. So welcome to Life Pharma Coalition, which is the world's largest online pharma discussion platform. And this journey wouldn't have been possible without the support of 45 plus pharma companies, which is even more now, with more than 200 plus speakers, with over 20,000 reach on Facebook and YouTube. And of course, with the support of our strong executive member team of 28 strong leaders who are spread across the length and breadth of this globe. The first physical event that we had was LPC 100 at Mumbai in the month of March. And thank you so much for your overwhelming support for LPC 100. And this photograph is reminiscent of the support and the love that you have bestowed on LPC with your presence on LPC 100. The second physical event that took place was LPC 125 Conclave at Ahmedabad in the month of September. And once again, thank you so much for giving such a lot of support to our physical endeavors along with our digital endeavors. And thank you so much, Ganesh Naik sir, for gracing the occasion by being our guest of honor and lighting the diya to mark the event open in Ahmedabad, LPC 125 Conclave. And sir, we were really mesmerized by the deliberations that you made about your journey in the pharma industry, which is definitely going to illuminate many people so that they can also follow your footsteps in making their journey worthwhile in this pharmaceutical industry. And once again, sir, this photograph is reminiscent about the support, the love, and the sharing and caring that you have for Life Pharma Coalition. But that's not yet over. The third event that we are having is the LPC Pharma Conclave 3.0. So, which is going to be next Sunday at Mumbai SIES School of Management Studies. And in fact, we are having the topic as redefining innovation across pharmaceuticals. We are going to have discussion on sales and marketing, manufacturing, supply chain, packaging and branding, biotech and innovation, digital transformation and innovation in healthcare. And we are also going to have keynote speech, panel discussion, networking, poster presentation, and of course, felicitation. So for any type of association that you would like to have with Life Pharma Coalition, Pharma Conclave 3.0, please get in touch with Mr. Yashwant, Mr. ICS or me, and we will definitely help you out. Just to remind you that we still have the early bird registrations open. So please register yourself at the earliest to be a part of the LPC Pharma Conclave 3.0, where not only are we going to hear from the wonderful leaders, but we also get a chance to network with them, to discuss with them personally regarding our careers. This journey wouldn't have been possible without the support of Imagica Health. In fact, Imagica Health in a nutshell explores the intersection between design, digital health technology, and content marketing for the leading brands, because they have an ex-marketeer-led team of medical writer, graphic designer, streamers, and coders who serve the pharmaceuticals for bettering the customer engagement, bringing patient centricity, improving control on the sales team, and increasing the return on investment for their various marketing campaigns. So thank you so much, Imagica Health, for being a constant support in our endeavor. We look forward to your support in our coming sessions as well. So now coming to today's Life Pharma Coalition event, which is building a collaborative learning community, LPC 132. And today we have two wonderful speakers with us. Ms. Jagdeep Kaur, she is a senior program manager, Abbott Healthcare, and the topic that she is going to dwell upon is complaint management. Along with her, we have Mr. Sudeep Bhaumik, who is the zonal sales head, RenoCare, and the topic that he is going to throw light on is servant leadership. To help me out in my moderation, I also have Ms. Purnima Kanodia, who is a mindful communication specialist and VP India Nigeria Council. So thank you so much for our audience on LPC 131, which was academic leadership, for being on Facebook and YouTube. So please don't go anywhere. We are once again going to have a very good show on LPC 132. So please stay tuned to LPC. Please hear our speakers, and most importantly, please send across your questions, your queries, so that we can make this discussion more engaging. So for the next part of the session, I'll hand it over to Purnima ji for her deliberation. Over to you, Purnima ji.
Good morning, everybody, and thank you so much, Arpan, for such a wonderful introduction and setting the tone for the entire event today. So we are covering two very, very important topics. We deal in an industry which is not only guided and guarded by laws, but also in terms of our own ethics as an industry. So we have a lot to give back to our customers, not only in terms of quality products, but also in terms of quality services. And quality definitely comes at a cost. It's a lot of vigilance. It is a lot of eye for detailing. And when consumer is at heart, customer complaint, or rather the main topic today, complaint management, equally becomes crucial and important, as good as selling your products. So we're going to be dwelling on something extremely important that's very close to us as an industry. And Jagdeep Kaur is going to be the speaker for this topic. A little brief about Jagdeep. It's a real privilege to introduce her. She is a pharma veteran with 25 years of experience in the industry. She started her career with Nestle in the food industry, and she's established herself as a quality management professional. Apart from that, she is also an experienced leadership coach and a mentor to many. And she is also a subject matter expert in sensory evaluations. So she has trained many people in terms of assessing quality details, as well as trained many people in terms of leadership skills. She also comes with a diverse culture experience. Apart from Nestle, she's worked with organizations with Olam International, and currently she's employed with Abbott Healthcare. She's sorry for that. And her core area of interest when it comes to training is into leadership, communication, confidence building, public speaking, listening skills, problem solving. And she definitely believes in simplicity and simplifying things for around her. That's again a very, very crucial thing that helps people move ahead in their not only their career, but also as an organization. Our next speaker, Mr. Sudeep Bhome, is a zonal business leader with Reno Pharmaceutical Private Limited based out of Hyderabad. He is also a veteran pharma professional with 26 years of experience. He's an MBA done in pharmaceutical management from National Institute of Business Management. He's worked with industries like companies like Contest and Shield Healthcare. He's a registered member with LPC since the time of its inception. And yet he is also going to cover an extremely important topic, or rather, I would say the need of the hour, the servant leadership. You know, what is it that's going to take us ahead? What is it that different that we need to do as leaders so that we have a contained team and we kind of reduce on our attrition rate and go together as a team. So with this little brief, I would like to hand over the stage to Jagdeep. Jagdeep, over to you, and request you to help us in terms of quality or complaint management. How do we go about it? Over to you.
Sure. Thank you so much, Purnima ji, for giving me this platform to share a very important topic with our viewers. Complaint management. I'll start with the presentation, right?
Yes, you can start your presentations right away. Yeah, you can put on your slides.
Sure. Welcome everybody on to a very important topic which is called complaint management on the platform of LPC. I'm Jagdeep, a senior program manager from Abbott Healthcare Private Limited. Guys, when we sell our product or our services, we are not selling the products or services. We are, giving a commitment to our consumers. And at any point of time, if we fall short in our commitments or the expectations from the consumer point of view, there is a complaint. There is a feedback which consumers want to share with us. And also I want to, share that there are very few consumers who would take time and energy to share this feedback with us. A lot of consumers, a lot of people don't even bother to share this with us. And when it is shared, we must respect that and, handle it in a way which gives a win-win situation for the consumer as well as for the company. So with this introductory note, I would like to start with my, presentation on this. I have an agenda of, few steps. We'll go through background definition, process flow, facing the consumers, which is most important aspect of this presentation today. And then the action steps in the field and Q&A session in the end. Please do feel free to ask any questions which are related to this topic today. We'll start with the first slide, which is complaint management. I mean, I see it as two aspects. One is complaint handling and another is complaint management. Why I'm using these two different words, handling and management, is that handling means that we follow the given process steps. And many a times it happens that, when we receive a complaint, we say that, okay, step 1, 2, 3, 4, it is done and the complaint is closed and that's it. However, I personally feel that it's much more beyond that. It's complaint management, and complaint management includes complaint handling as well as identifying the opportunities to make systemic improvements in the process, in the organization, in the product, right? Now, community, expects the government agencies to be more customer focused, and they want to be heard about their grievances, about their concerns related to the products. Hence, we must focus on complaint management in totality, right? So there is a different type of complaint feedback which is received from the consumers. Definitely, there's a positive feedback as well in the form of appreciation about the product quality or the services given by the organization. And then there's a negative feedback such as dissatisfaction or a complaint regarding the product quality. Third type of feedback is related to queries. Sometimes people don't understand how to use the product or what are the benefits of using the product, and they ask for more information. Now, this feedback may be received from direct consumers or parents or patients, customers such as distributors, retailers, and CFAs or warehouses within the supply chain, company employees and third-party manufacturers. They are also entitled to make a complaint or share their feedback if they come across anything like this. And then the media, in case there is anything which is printed about a product or our services in the social media, in the news, that also must be shared back with the company. If you look at the definition of a complaint, it means any written, electronic, or oral communication that alleges deficiencies related to the identity, quality, durability, reliability, safety, effectiveness, and performance of the product, right? And there's another aspect which is called as adverse event, which is related to this feedback. That is any untoward medical occurrence in a patient administered with this product. And there may not be a causal relationship with the product. However, this feedback, this information should be shared with the organization. And it can be an unfavorable or unintended sign. However, this feedback helps us in the long run. If you look at the complaint management process, the inputs we receive is in the form of feedback from the consumers. And then the process starts with the documentation and determination, and the output is whether it is a complaint or not, and whether it should be registered with the company system. Then is the complaint evaluation, complaint investigation, complaint closure, and complaint monitoring, right? There are two aspects of complaint management system, and it involves, one is the consumer, another is the product. Now, we have to focus on both of these simultaneously. However, the first and foremost thing that needs to be done within the first 24 hours is, as soon as you receive a complaint, share it with your company, with your organization, whatever department is responsible for it, and contact the consumer or visit the consumer to understand the complaint. The earliest you get back to the consumer, that will give them more satisfaction and will improve the reputation of the company which cares for them. And the focus should be to reduce the stress and attain customer satisfaction. We know when a customer has purchased a product and want to use it for their benefit, and if it has some problem, what kind of situation the customer would be going on. It's a complete psychological disturbance, and the consumer wants to get back to the company as soon as possible, right? And hence, the first thing is to pacify the consumer and give them the assurance that, yes, you are there for them. This starts with the process of handling the complaints, and today we will focus on the things that must be done in the field because of the time paucity, and it's a vast subject and we can discuss at length on it. Now, the first step is going and visiting the consumers and understanding what's going on. Please listen carefully, determine the reasons without assigning blame. Many times people tend to, start finding that who's wrong. It's not a matter of who is right or who's wrong. The point here is to understand what has gone wrong and how that can be fixed. So apologize, restate the customer's opening statements, listen carefully And while you are listening, please mind your body language, because if you are listening and if you're nodding your head and pretending that yes, you are listening, but your body is giving different kind of reactions, then the consumer may get further aggravated or irritated, right? So remain composed and do not become defensive at all. Do not take any criticism personally, because a consumer is sharing their experience with the product. So take it in a positive manner. What caused that problem? We must identify the root cause. And this root cause is that you have to understand the consumer, how they're explaining the events, and correlate them and try and see where the things have gone wrong. Explain what has happened and stick to the facts. Don't make any kind of stories. Keep your emotions out of it, right? While you're listening to the consumer, it's important that you should gather this information, which you need to give back to the company, to the quality assurance department, so that they can investigate it further and understand what has gone wrong with the product. So it's a list of information which is related to the product, the manufacturing dates, date of purchase, and if it is a medical complaint, whether the doctor was involved in it or some medication was taken by the consumer further to prevent that issue, and what is the pack condition, how much pack has been consumed, and after how much time the consumer have gone through this kind of concerns and issues. So keep noting down this information with yourself while you are having a constant discussion with the consumer. Step 3 is, what can I do? The person who is there along with the consumer must thank the customer for the opportunities to fix the things. Tell the customer that you will try and solve the problem and focus what you can do, not just giving any kind of assurances which are out of your control, right? Offer the best solution, and again, never assign the blame. Show compassion to the consumer and give full attention. Maintain eye contact with the consumer while you are having these discussions, which will show the consumer that yes, you are listening to them carefully and you are genuinely concerned about their problem. At the same time, refrain from giving any kind of written communication to the consumer. Or if a lot of consumers may ask you for acknowledgement, may ask you to give in writing that yes, you are taking away the complaint sample, so they need some kind of acknowledgement. So go back to the company and have a kind of standard text which you can share with the consumer, right? And that only should be given to the consumer. Nothing else should be written. Don't get emotional while you are giving anything in writing to the consumer. So use a standard text for that. Step 4 is, what can I say? Now, it's very important restoring the relationship with the consumer. Follow up with the consumer and make sure that the customer is satisfied with your discussions, with the things which you are sharing with them. Tell what you will do to avoid the future problems. There is a kind of commitment the consumer is asking from you to make to them that this problem doesn't occur again. A lot of times the consumers, they say that, they are not concerned about the incident which they have faced themselves. However, they are also concerned that some other people should not face a similar kind of problems, right? So we need to give assurance to the consumers at that time. And offering a replacement as per your company policy, or a refund that may be done as per the rules and regulations the company has set for it. Always try and make a follow-up call or visit to the consumers, right? So don't just try and sort of run away or shy away from the situation and consider that, okay, once you have visited them and it's finished, that's it. When you give a follow-up call, when you visit later stages, the consumers feel more respected, and it gives more respect and reputation to your company. The 5th step, what needs to be done? Now, this is the part related to the organization, to the company, wherein after receiving the consumer complaint, There have to be a complete investigation about it, root cause analysis, and finding the causes behind what caused that issue, right? So analyzing what went wrong and reviewing the company's policies and procedures, and updating and reviewing the procedures, how we can improve the product better and prevent any kind of repeat issues in the product, right? So now this was all what a person who's facing the consumer should, handle it. And then comes to the role which the company or the organization must perform to handle this complaint data, right? Complaint data and trend analysis is very important, and it can lead to the inputs for product improvement, and it's part of that continuous improvement, right? So the complaint data should be compiled. It should be handled very well. You can collate the number of complaints received, and then it's also calculated in terms of CPM, which is complaints per million units sold. And this can be product wise or SKU wise. It can be geography wise. It can be category wise. The feedback which is really received about the physical stability of the product, sensory, packaging, extraneous matter, or some medical issues which may be related to the consumers or hospitals and any other institutions who are using your product. So analyze the complaint data, share these trends on monthly basis with the management and with the R&D department as well, giving them inputs for continuous improvement. For medical complaints, like we use this medical safety and surveillance, there's a different way of collating these complaints, which could be total liters of product which is sold and the total patient treatment days involved with this, and the number of adverse events. They need to be monitored regularly. Establish some golden rules for the sales team, which means, establish a contact with the consumers for within 24 hours. Collect the detailed information on the complaint, because this is required for the investigation of the complaint. Okay. Collecting the complaint pack and giving replacement, speak politely. This can be established as per your organization, as per your company policies. And it helps the sales team or the people who are visiting the consumers in understanding what needs to be done, right? Now, towards the end of the presentation, I would want to ask you one question. Is complaint a gift? What do you think? Yeah, I think complaint is really a gift. At first place, yes, we must conform to the specifications. We must give first time right product to the consumers. That's our foremost responsibility. However, whenever we receive a feedback from the consumers, it should be handled very well and it should be considered as a gift, because this is the feedback which is coming to us, courtesy the consumers. As I said in the beginning, there are a lot of consumers who would, just throw away the pack and will not get back to you. So we must respect the people who take time to share their feedback, share this information about the product quality with us. And if a customer is complaining, you are being given a chance to retain that customer. When a customer is complaining, the customer is a loyal customer, right? So we must respect it. We must handle it in the best possible way. Something about, what the research says about the loyalty of the consumers and the satisfaction score. Now, this yellow box shows zone of defection. So there may be a lot of consumers who would, not tend to complain and would simply shift to another product if they come across a problem in your product, right? However, if we want to convert them into loyal customers, we must, try and have the relevant policies with our organization and encourage consumers to give feedback to us. It can be done by giving right information on the packs, call toll-free numbers or your email IDs and different, WhatsApp numbers, Facebook IDs, etc., on the pack itself, so that the consumer finds it easier and is, motivated to give feedback to you in case they have any kind of problem with the products, right? Now, this blue box is the zone of indifference. Here, lack of interest in your product. The consumers will simply, say that, okay, I have a problem, let me not use this product again. And then, they'll become indifferent about the issues, and they sometimes may also ignore it. However, if the complaint is repeated, then they simply get, more irritated and may even shift from using your product. The last one, the small, is zone of loyalty, where the consumers, they get back to you, and depending upon your response, they stick to your product and even advocate. They do advertise your response with a word of mouth, and it's a win-win situation for you as well as for the consumers. So retaining the consumers and handling these consumer complaints is extremely important aspect in our dealing with the consumers. Complaint investigation. I'm not going to share much information on this, and we will take it up in another forum if permitted by the management, because it's a very detailed subject, and it needs to involve a lot of information about how we must be investigating the complaints. However, the steps goes that we must get the complaint sample for evaluation from the consumers, because that speaks a lot about how the consumer have used the product and what the product have gone through, the conditions, different conditions the product have gone through, and what can go wrong with it. Batch record review, process review, trend analysis, and then summary and conclusion on the complete complaint event which has happened, right? So your customer doesn't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And when you receive a feedback from the consumers, you have an opportunity to show your care for the consumers, your respect for the consumers, by getting back to them as soon as possible, and also providing a solution for the problem which they have faced, right? So with this, we come down to Q&A sessions. So if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer.
Just let me look up in Facebook. Arpan,
Yeah, thank you so much, Jagdeep ma'am, for such an insightful session. In fact, one very beautiful thing that you said is complaint a gift. This reminds me of something that can be the opposite of complaint or addressing complaint, that is complacency. And two of the biggest corporates, one is Nokia, the second is Kodak. They probably just vanished in the air because of complacency, because of the complaints that they did not address. They were left sleeping. Now, another important thing that you said, that the initial step needs to be taken within 24 hours of receiving a complaint. So I feel that this is just like a golden hour which we have when a person meets with an accident, because everything that is done within the first 1 hour of the accident has 100% chances of reviving the patient. So any type of addressal that we are doing for any complaint within 24 hours goes a long way in retaining the customer and solving the complaint. And the last line that you said was probably the icing on the cake, that your customer doesn't care how much you know unless they know how much you care. And that can only be done when we redress the complaints within 24 hours and make the customer happy, because it is no longer a time for customer satisfaction, but rather an era for customer delight. So this will definitely go a long way in increasing customer delight and retaining loyal customers. Yes. And for your sessions, we have received a lot of appreciations on Facebook from a lot of people. To name a few of them: Mr. Shailesh Kadam, Ms. Satwant Kaur Manku, Yashwant Mishra ji, then Nimish Bhatnagar, Mr. Aramugam Arasan, Mr. Shiv Shankar Maurya, and Mr. Debabrata Mazumdar. So they have all appreciated your sessions and have found it very insightful. And now over to Purnima, if she has got any questions for you.
Ideally, the field should be having more questions, but I don't see questions even in the chat.
Yeah, no problem.
To keep things short, I would just like to quickly brief what she has already said for the benefit of the audience. This was one of a fantastic presentation. It's like a chota packet, a bada dhamaka kind of a thing. Done very short, crisp, and to the point. Congratulations to you, Jagdeep, for keeping it, compacted. And, this is a very, very crucial thing when it comes to our organization, particularly as a pharma company. It's a very important step handling consumer or customer complaints. So basically what Jagdeep kind of, narrated the difference between complaint management and complaint, handling. So handling is typically what is done by the forerunners of the team the moment they receive a complaint, and of course the SOP of, or rather the company's policy of how do they handle it comes into picture there. Complaint management is more of a background kind of a thing, what you do after you have received the complaint. So not only from the receiving point, but even once the consumer complaint is resolved, what do you do with it in terms of, to see that it doesn't happen in future. So it's a big step, and of course it's a long procedure, not something that can be done within 24 hours for sure. But yes, one needs to keep a close eye on this. And of course, how we handle the complaint in terms of body language, you covered extremely crucial points, because I have worked in the field. So I know the moment you receive a complaint, you start jumping, you're like, oh my God, why this happened? आप अपने ही उलझन में इतने उलझ जाते हो कि कंज्यूमर से सिर्फ एक चीज याद रहती है, वो प्रोडक्ट लेना है, उसको दूसरा देना है. That is the only thing most of us do, which is actually a wrong thing. You're supposed to sit, resolve, take it as an opportunity. And the best part, what I loved about you was, the complaint should be taken as a gift. It's not something, it's not, putting a gun on your head. It's giving you an opportunity to interact more closely with your consumer, understand their mindset, understand their feelings, and of course, make your product stand out through you. It's not only the the company as well, but you become a crucial face to establish that relationship. So very, very important point and extremely important steps that one needs to follow, not only from receiving, also ensuring that all the further steps till the time that you are aware, XYZ has to be done to ensure that it is done, and you keep in touch with customer till the time it is resolved and the customer is happy and satisfied. So services definitely count. I mean, the different process and the procedure vary company to company. Of course, we have a standard rules regulation laid down by the Pharmacovigilance Society of India. None of us are spared from that. We got to follow it to the dot, and a fantastic presentation. No, आपका presentation मेरे लिए भी concise करना. I have written 3 pages. It's not possible to do it in a couple of minutes. So we keep this as a separate thing, where we can go in depth, in details, and take it as a standalone topic. And thank you so much for your sharing, Jagdeep. It's a beautiful share.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And with this, I hand over to Arpan, and we have the next speaker on.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. In fact, we have heard about the Six Sigma in complaint quality management, and definitely that is going to ensure 0 defects as far as product is concerned. And but one thing I'm always tempted to ask, which one is good for an organization which says that I don't get any complaints, or an organization which says that yes, I do get complaints? Which one is a better situation?
I think both are equally good, right? So when we say that we don't get complaints, which means we are, following this, even if we follow Six Sigma, like, there is a fraction of feedback products going, wrong, defect products are there. So these products, like if we are not able to, take it out of the supply chain, they are going to end up with the consumers, and consumers are going to give feedback to us. So I would say the second thing is more better getting feedback from the consumers, getting complaints, which you as well said that it will not help us get into that complacency thing, right? And it gave us the right feedback about our performance. However, as I said, that we should be monitoring these complaints regularly, and beyond a certain limit we need to get into action and take improvement steps, right? So some part of feedback is important for us to get, and this is a feedback which is if we want consumer feedback, we will have to get into that consumer research kind of thing, right? So this is a feedback which is getting to us free of cost, and we must use it for the benefit of the company and improving our products.
Yes, absolutely. Because consumers are the biggest gift, or the consumers' complaints are the biggest gift that an organization can have. So I think you are right in your answer that both the situations are good. A company doesn't receive complaint, that means they are on the right track. And second, a company receiving complaints, that means there is room for improvement, scope for improvement. So both of them are equally good. So thank you so much, Jagdeep ma'am, for your insightful presentation. I am very sure that our audience have gained a lot of insight and have gained a lot of knowledge and learnings from whatever you have delivered. So now it's time I invite our next speaker, Mr. Sudeep Bhaumik, to give us an overview about what is servant leadership. So over to you.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Arpan, for giving me the opportunity. Thank you, Purnia ma'am, for the introduction to me, and wonderful presentation, Jagdeep Kaur madam. For your is a great lesson for us also, because we are also in the pharmaceutical field. We all often we can have this situation, and you have shown a lot of insight how to handle very matured way. So it is all about the learning for us today, as you always tell, because my journey with LPC is from 2020 in the month of May when the paradigm start, and I always feel that Sunday is not a fun day for me; it is a learn day for me. So it is as a learning session I want to present today. It is my debut presentation in the forum. So today I am going to present about the servant leadership. So servant leadership, as you all know, that it is a leadership has have a natural feelings to serve first to the team members, and then with the conscious choice to aspire to lead. It is all about the improvement of the team members to develop and perform the high possible as much as possible, to promote a genuine team ownership, and of course, what we know that care and connect is the best system now in this millennium instead of command and control. See, it is all about my presentation, which I am going to present to the slides for understanding. Just a minute.
Is there any challenges?
Here's one challenge is there's sign to use your weights. It is showing.
No. First, you click on share screen.
It is come. It is clear. It is clear.
Okay.
It's clear.
Yes, it's coming. Yeah. Put it on the slideshow. Yes, please go ahead.
Oh, that leadership, and as you all know, that leadership is a capacity to translate the vision into the reality. As the John C. Maxwell, the great philosopher, has told, a leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. Now, as we all know, as we are in the pharma field, we are almost all the leaders are participating. Many leaders are participating. We know the basic leadership style, that is autocratic, bureaucratic, democratic. Now this transformational leadership has came, then situational leadership has came. But it has been observed that around 84% of the millions says that the helping to make a positive difference in their life, in the world, is more important. Because in this era, the people wants the quality of life. Because in our grandfather's time, it has been observed, survival was the question. Roti, kapra, makan, that was only the people thinks of. In our father's generations or even our generation also, we think have a standard of life. So purchasing one house or purchasing one a bike. But if you see the next generations, they beliefs, and they are already getting, because of this globalization, the quality of the life. So to have an apartment where they can stay very nicely, to have a bike to must, then they want to go for cars. So these are they want a positive difference compared to the earlier times. So what new? Because all those leadership we have seen, but what's new, which can give them the positive breakup and positive difference? Yes, what I felt, it is a servant leadership, because we are seeing many of the attritions are going on because people are changing. Why have told people are changing from one company or another company for higher salaries and for other citizens? Okay, but here is a one leadership which is called servant leaderships, the best way to lead. Why I have chosen this topic? In fact, Robert Greenleaf, he has nicely told about the definition of this servant leadership. That is, servant leadership begins with the natural feelings, as I've already told when I'm studying this topic, that natural feelings wants to have to serve first, and then the conscious choice which can bring them to or aspire them to lead. It is all about the helping people to develop and perform as high as possible. It is a promoting to the genuine team ownership. It is all about this care and connect instead of command and control. Now, what exactly servant leadership they do? They always say it is we instead of I. It is one for all and all for one. Because if any good conversion, a big doctor we convert as a team, many of the situation it has been observed. The person who was the senior leader, they will tell, I have done okay, I have got this conversion. But what about the down the level Bs? What about the down the level ABLs? About the down the levels RBLs? Because it is a team efforts. If we don't appreciate all the people, it is a team efforts and we have gone the success. So they will get demoralized. So servant leaders always say, we shall succeed together. And instead of I, they always say we. So that is very much important. So in fact, if you analyze what the servant leaders do, see, they devote themselves for the servicing the need of the organization members. It is a care and connect concept instead of command and control. It develops the peoples to bring the best out of them. So developing training is very much important. So otherwise, if we don't develop them, if we can't make them what to do at what time, if we don't make them understand what you should do, then they will not understand what to do and how to do. And definitely to listen and build a sense of community and fostering the personal growth in all who work with us. So our servant leaders should be a very, 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 very empathetic in nature. There are many things are there, but we should be very, very empathetic in nature to get the success from the team members. Our servant leader, it is all about the leaders making the people feel better who are their work and who they just value their position. It is not to value their positions. Truly speaking, everyone should take the peoples as their equals. We should collaborate with them. We should give some assignments. So if you come out with some good suggestions and propose to the management, and if management accepts that, you will get a reward in terms of cash or kind. So what will happen? There will be a collaborations. They may come with a very good solutions. Who knows? You should not underestimate anyone. So it will give a collaborative feelings. Instead of, and automatically we will see, instead of managing coordinations, it will be facilitating collaborative, which ultimately helps the team to create a great solution for the organizations. So as we see in nutshell, the qualities of the servant leader. Yes, active listening. One should understand, if my team member, if anyone is speaking, I should not play with mobiles. I should give the more attention to him. I should show my eye to him that what is his body language to understand what he is want to tell, and I should not interrupt till he completes his talks. So it shows my respect to him. Healing. Many people are having this depression or setbacks they does not know what they are talking. So I should, as a true servant leader, one should understand what is his mental backup. So if we see that he is suffering from depressions or mental setback, we should heal them first to bring the wholeness in him. Then only if we discuss, it will have a mature talks. A quality of servant leader should be empathetic. As we all know, empathy means putting my legs on other shoes. We should see from their eyes to get the better solutions. Conceptualizations, it addresses that a servant leader should show a conceptual dream for the bigger things. So in a distance road, he can maintain all the ladders go very nicely without any distractions. So that conceptualizations should be done by the servant leader for their team members so they can win the race in the long run. Self-awareness. A servant leader should have a self-awareness. Being a leader, he should know that how his way of talking, tonality, body language, behavior, which should not affect the surrounding peoples around him. Because everyone is seeing, as I am seeing with my two eyes, 50 people, 50 into 100 eyes are looking after me. So I should be very much self-awareness should be there to deal with them, to talk with them, to influence them after all. A true servant leader have a caliber of persuasions. They does not use their authority and tell that you have to do it. They tell them why to do. If they inculcate the why concept, then definitely how to do it and what to do it, they will understand able to do. And building a community, a true servant leader should build a good community. It is not only the professional talk they should discuss. Across the company, they should have the opportunity and this freedom to talk individually, the informal things also. Even in the meeting when they're coming, instead of talking all the meeting formals, they should discuss some other. Recently, India has won the match against Pakistan. How they have won, what the greatness they have seen in Virat Kohli and Hardik Pandya. If they all discuss, these are all the positive stimulations they will have. So we can build as community as a pharma community. And commitment to the employees' growth. Yes, one servant leader should have a strong commitment to the employees' growth. They should work on them in a participative way. So they can also understand the person is very much genuine to me. And this is one of the best way so far my knowledge to influence the people also. If we have the commitment to employees' growth. And foresight, as we all know, that a leader should have a predictions that what is going to happen out of his experience. Suppose near future, March is coming, January, February, March. As we all know, in March, the stockist will stop supply because to collecting the payments. So as a true leader, I should make him understand, make the billings, make the say 80% of sales by January, February. So whatever the leftover you can make in the March. So you can achieve your target and achieve your incentives. So if I then show them out of my experience, so the people also in a very much comfortable conditions. And stewardship is there, which we listen in the 5-star hotel. It is taking the accountability of the total team if they do anything wrong of their actions. And I should set an example as a true leader or servant leader should show an example how to behave with the community. Yes, it is no need to express, but it is very much important that trust, cultivate a culture of trust among the people. If whatever happens, if I have a transparency, if I keep trust, because as you all know, that trust takes years to build, seconds to break, and forever to repair. So I should be 100% transparent to meet leaders, or a true servant leader who is working as a leader. He should be very much transparent, because a healthy culture encourages the open and robust debate. We should understand the practical things. It allows the alternative opinions, allows everyone to have a say. Otherwise, what will happen? The people will become corrupted. The people will become manipulations, which we should refrain from them by understanding their true sense. Yes, develop leaders that develop. Leaders makes the leaders. As you know, that servant leaders is a true leader who empowers others and encourages others from learning, developing, and becoming a leader. I am so fortunate that I'm in RPPL here. Our founder director, Krishan Balaji sir, who is also mentor of this LPC. He always encourages the learning, developing, and becoming leader. Even my leader, Mr. Vishwanathan, he also has participated in this LPC group, and our marketing managers. We all associated in this LPC group and for our learning for the higher heights. So I'm really thankful to be in the RPPLs to know the things much better to upgrade myself. Yes, now the question is it the right to sell or to tell? Many times we have told the things, you have to do that, you should do that. It will not work out. Now the time has come, you have to be participate. You have to participate style of management instead of putting your authority that I have told you, no, you have to do it. Instead of that, if you sell the concept, that definitely with a participative way, then definitely they will be knowing, because the main gap is there. We don't know, we cannot able to explain them why they should do that. And so there will be a confusion what to do and how to do. So it is always better you tell first, then sell by participative way, then consult with the concerned person, make them agree, having a win-win situations, advise them what to do, inquire it is all is going well or not, and then delegate. So definitely things will have more. So that is the things I am very I find very nice, that sell instead of tell. So we have to sell anything, we have to sell by way of participating. As per the this University of Illinois at Chicago study confirms, this servant leadership is such a nice leadership. Around 961 employees has told there is a 6% improvement in the job performance. 71 this person has told, restaurant people has told that 8% increase in the customer service, and 10 metropolitan areas have told that 50% increase in the employees retentions, because in our former professions manpower attrition is very high. So if we use our this servant leadership attitude philosophy, I'm sure we can retain the people much than the authoritative leaderships. So with this picture, just I want to complete my presentation. So it is nothing to elaborate much. You can understand by seeing this photo. The leadership organizational structure in the traditional leadership, it is a board of directors who is to get the power for command, and the employees who is to follow. But now the generation has came, we should give the more respect for the employees, the down the level people, more than the directors. So naturally the directors will be get benefited, because if the people work well, the company will have the profit. Company with the profit, then definitely the board of directors also win the race. So with this, I want to complete my presentation. Over to Mr. Arpan.
Yeah, thank you so much. Please stop screen sharing. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that was an excellent presentation on servant leadership. And we all believe that there are different styles of leadership, whether it is autocratic, it is democratic, it is laissez-faire, or whatever it is. But there is no one leadership quality that we can say is the best. It's how well the leader uses it as per the situation, which we always call as a situational leadership, because it is the situation which determines the mettle of a leader, how well. So I read a very nice article where a leader has been compared to a tea bag. In fact, a leader is a tea bag because he needs to be very flexible, and most important, the time for his performance comes when he is dipped into hot water. That is the time. That means a tight situation, a crucial situation. That's the place where a leader can actually show his or her leadership qualities, how strong he or she is. Because when the going is good, every person can say that I'm a leader, I'm performing. But when the going gets rough, that's the only time when a leader can probably showcase his or her capabilities of making the team perform, or making the team come out from a bad patch or a bad situation. Well, Sudeep referred to the India-Pakistan match. Well, I call it a case of exhibiting situational leadership, because the Prince of Kolkata, Saurav Ganguly, once said that I am not the captain of the team. I have got 5 to 6 captains. One person is the batting captain, the second is the bowling captain, the third is the fielding captain. So I delegate my responsibilities to people, and that is what leadership is: delegating responsibility among the people, empowering them. Because the moment I'm empowering my people, I am basically taking them one step forward towards becoming a leader. And a true leader is one who does not keep all the task to himself or herself. He rather delegates the task, and in the process makes newer leaders come. And that is a part of succession planning. If we can see, we are basically making people ready to take up the next position, and in the bargain this leader also gains height. So that is the essence of a true leader and what we call a servant leader. Some other things that he had just touched upon, that I always say that leadership is a journey of transforming dreams into reality, and a visionary leader is one who knows how exactly he has to do, because it is said that a leader knows the way, shows the way, and goes the way. It's not only just like a hand holding a person and then leaving him in between. It is like holding the hands of the person and teaching him, training him exactly how to go about doing the task. So that is what a leader is. And of course, we know of the 5 generations of workforce that have been in existence, starting from veterans to baby boomers, Gen X, Gen Y, Gen Z. And Sudeep has highlighted some of the qualities of the leaders in the recent past, because we are having probably Gen X, Y, and Z, though Gen X, very few are left. So among them, one thing that always seems to be missing is the loyalty part. We find people who are always in the process of changing organizations. So it becomes a big responsibility of the leader how to keep people interested in the organization they are working. So I always feel that one of the most important qualities of a servant leader is to reduce the attrition by keeping people informed, by keeping people interested within the organization. Okay, so that is one of the KRAs, or the key result areas of being a very good servant leader. And a part of servant leader, what I always feel, is the steward leadership, which he also touched upon. In fact, a servant leader, when you are hungry, gives you a fish, but a steward leader does one step better. He teaches you how to fish. So for that reason, not only are you going to suffice your people for a day or two, but you are going to suffice them for a lifetime. So that is the essence of being a true leader, a true servant leader. And that is why serving people to make them a better version of themselves. And thank you so much for such a wonderful presentation that you have given on servant leadership. In fact, this has been a topic people have touched upon quite often, but the way you have done it, it's outstanding. And I feel that some of the qualities that a leader needs to have, and the most important quality, I think, is honesty. Honesty and integrity, these are the 2 qualities which I think will always make a leader very different from others, because if it's a virtue and if he can keep this going, this will also inculcate within his or her team members. The third, I think, is selflessness. And that is what I always find within today's cricketing greats. Then whenever they win a tournament, they are not the ones to lift the trophy or the cup. They always allow somebody else, probably the youngest member of the team, to lift it. This not only increases the team morale, but oozes a lot of confidence within that new team member, that he or she is very much required in the team and is an integral part of the team. Another thing that I always feel a leader needs to have is trust, which Mr. Sudeep has also touched upon, because trust is something, transparency is something which will definitely make a leader very different from others. And of course, how decisive that leader is, because decisiveness, that is taking a decision during tough times, is also going to make a leader perform better than other leaders. So now the some questions that really come to my mind. The first I'm going to ask to Mr. Sudeep is that how does a leader facilitate the personal growth of people who work with him or her? Because see, at one moment of time, a leader is also growing. At the same time, the team member is also growing. So how does a leader facilitate the growth of his or her team member? So that's my first question.
Thank you, Mr. Arpan, for giving the opportunity. How the personal I can motivate the people. What I used to do many times, that when the new people are coming, I am asking, because they are fresh, they does not know anything. So I am telling how much salary you have got. Out of that salary, what you have got, put 1,000 rupees in the fixed deposit and recurring deposit. So from the very first month, I am showing that I am interested for savings, because that savings will help him to grow in the future. So after 12 months, when he will get the recurring money, he will feel happy. I always show the how to get the incentives. I always tell when you will get incentive, because salary you are getting to make your the things happen, or the daily needs, and expenses for the expenditure. But incentive you should put immediately for a fixed deposit, so which will help you for when you will get want to purchase a car or apartment or your marriage, or next generation when you are putting having a kids for their educations. So instant, apart from the this professional talks, I used to make him rich in the this savings, because savings is the things one person should think when they are coming very freshers. Even the people who are senior also, to them also, because for their family it is very much a great thing. So this is one way I help them. Just a minute. And another thing is, when I see the this people's communication is not good. Keep going. Just a second. Sorry. So
Yes, I think his bandwidth is a little low now, and so I think the video is not working. I think what he wanted to touch upon is, I think he wanted to say that when the communication skills are not good within the team members, probably it becomes a very important responsibility for the leader to develop communication skills of the team members as well. And as we know, the customer facing time, the CFT is shrinking day by day, and that is why we need to be very specific as far as our communications are concerned, because doctors are giving us lesser and lesser amount of time. So the smallest amount of time in which we can give or deliver the greatest amount of information, or the most important information, would definitely go a long way in promoting our products in front of our customers. And as UCPMP guidelines have become very stringent nowadays, so it becomes even more important for all of us to be very good as far as our communications are concerned, because with no hand and glove nowadays with the companies, so it's a level playing field for everybody. So it is only the communications that's going to steal a place in the heart of the customer as far as our products are concerned, because we always say that first we sell ourselves and then only can we sell our products. So this is how we can market our own selves in the minds of the doctors. That's going to go a long way in promoting our products to the doctor, and not only promoting, prescribing our products to the doctors. So we have got some good amount of appreciation from our audience for Mr. Sudeep's deliberation as well. Mr. ICS Verma has appreciated. Mr. Raman Bhatt, Mr. Prabhakar Bhumikar has also appreciated. Satwan Kaur Manku ma'am has appreciated Mr. Sudeep's deliberation on servant leadership. In fact, as I said, that this topic of servant leadership has been discussed many a times, but the originality that he has brought to this deliberation today was really praiseworthy. And I think credit goes to Mr. Sudeep for preparing such a wonderful deliberation on servant leadership. So I think it's 12:10, so we are almost towards the end of this session. So first of all, let me thank Imagica Health, our session support partner, for being with us right through, and we look forward to your session support in our future sessions as well. Just a small word of caution that we are still not over with the COVID pandemic. So please let us maintain the COVID appropriate behaviors of SMS, that is sanitization, mask and social distancing, along with the compulsory vaccinations. Dengue is on the rise. So please let us maintain dengue appropriate behaviors of using a mosquito net and not allowing waters to gather near our surroundings, because that's a place where the larva can always germinate. So I think Mr. Sudeep is once again back. So over to you for that question. I think I half answered that on your behalf regarding developing communication skills. You can definitely add to that.
Yeah, sorry, Mr. Arpan. Actually, some technical challenge has happened in between. So that's why I want to see that the personal development can be done with the leaders.
Okay, so personal development is a way that you think a servant leader can go a long way in developing the team. Yes, absolutely. I resonate with your thoughts on this topic. And then second thing I would like to ask you that you are a leader, a zonal leader in your organization. So how do you inculcate the values of servant leadership in your own organization?
Yeah, here I already discussed this. Once again, I want to discuss that I used to tell first. Then I used to see it as a participative way. Then I used to consult how the things are happening. It will work out. I used to take the opinion also from them, and I make them agree that is it possible or not. If they agree and make them the win-win situations, then only I used to advise to continue the things. Suppose they want to have a incentive schemes, how to earn the incentive schemes. So I show the ways that what are the existing prescribers are there, what the new conversion they should do. So, and I inquire it is working or not, and then only I used to delegate. So in my company, I have started this things, and I'm getting very good response from the people, and I'm sure that by that way we are not only we are telling the way in a participative way, we are showing how to achieve the target and how to win the incentives for which the maximum people works out.
Yes, absolutely. Fantastic. So that's a way of taking consensus from the people, and taking consensus is removing the I and bringing in the we. Because I have always seen that the moment I is removed and we comes, even illness becomes wellness. So that's the best way we can think as far as creating a vision is concerned. Instead of thinking that it is the company's target, we would find that it is my target, it is our target, and that always inspires people to achieve it and go a long way. And as you said that you have also been what to say, a financial consultant to your team by advising them how to utilize the extra money that they earn through incentives. And definitely this is also a very good way of promoting savings or investments within your people, because you never know when this money is going to be required by them in the future, maybe when they go in for a larger family or whatever it is, situations in life. So that's a wonderful way that you are extending your services beyond the purview of what a leader should do, and going out of the way in making the team gel and performing well. So thank you so much, Mr. Sudhi, for such an insightful deliberations on servant leadership. In fact, the technical glitch actually just prevented us from connecting with you for the last 10 minutes. But anyway, thank you so much for reconnecting with us. So as I was telling that we have received a lot of appreciations, and I have already read out the names of people who have appreciated your deliberation. One more thing that I always tell people, that let us keep our environment clean and green, because this is the only planet that we have, the planet A. We do not have a planet B. So if we keep it clean and green, so this will be the best gift that we are probably going to give our next generation. Now coming back to Jagdeep ma'am first. So this has been your maiden visit as far as the LPC platform is concerned. So what is your take home or your learnings from LPC 132?
Thank you so much once again, for getting me into this team. I mean, it's a big opportunity and a proud moment for me. This is a first time I'm interacting with any organization and institute like this, and that too such a big organization. So it's a privilege for me, and I think, yes, the way you and Purnima ji have handled this whole meeting, like, I mean, it makes it so interesting for us to, stay attentive and imbibe what is being told. And I think, I mean, I would love to be part of this organization going forward. So it's thank you so much for all what information you are sharing. And it's a big platform, like, where people can really interact and learn a lot. So it's a big service to the community as well. And again, it's a great leadership skills that, yes, you have come up with this forum and you are sharing this information with everybody. So that's great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jagdeep ma'am. So as I said, it's again a transformation from I to we.
Yes.
We have tried to build in a collaborative learning community by way of sharing your learnings and experiences that we get every Sunday at 11 o'clock. And that is why, as we say, it's no longer Sunday, it's a learn day. So
Ex-
every Sunday we are learning something new and we are sharing it. And that is how we don't remain stagnant like a tree, but we flow like a river so that we can touch each and every person who is interested in learning and development so that he or she can take the career one step forward. So thank you so much, ma'am, for your wonderful deliberations. Next, I'll go over to Mr. Sudeep for what has been his take home and learnings from LPC 132.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Arpan, for giving me the learnings. As today Jagdeep Madam has nicely has told, I really quote his 2-3 things. That is, our customer does not care how much we know until we show that how much we care for them. So we should more show our careness, and as Madam has told, that complaint is a gift. So in fact, in our organization also we used to take feedbacks kind of how is the results, because we also deal with the infertility and IVF segment. So whether madam is doctors are getting good results or not, we used to take feedbacks. And when the doctors are giving feedbacks, we feel very highly regarded. So this shows that that their happiness. And as madam has rightly told, it is by taking that complaint has to be addressed. If any complaints comes, we should not feel bad. We should be addressed instead of have a complacency. It cannot be happen, okay. And we should talk with the concerned management, and we should come back with the right authoritative letter that what has happened or what to do next. Thank you, ma'am. That is the main thing for my learning. And regarding my presentation, already I have the survey leadership I have done. And nicely, Mr. Arpan, that what 2-3 things you have told, I also noted. Definitely will follow the things, because I believe that learning is a journey. It is not a destination.
Yes, absolutely. Learning is definitely a journey. It's never a destination, and feedback is the breakfast of champions. And
Yes.
complaint should never be taken as a complacency. Rather, it's an opportunity for the organization to move ahead by making themselves much better than what they were yesterday and what they are today, to becoming something better tomorrow. So all these things go a long way in making us a better person and making our organization a much better organization. Thank you so much, Mr. Sudeep. And now I'll go over to Purnima ji. So what has been your learnings, your take homes? So it's all over to you now.
Thank you so much, Arpan, for this wonderful session. See, a lot of take homes, yes, of course, because I have worked in pharmacovigilance, I have worked in compliance, and I was taking care of 6 countries. So I know what kind of work goes behind the scene when it comes to receiving a complaint. And being in field, I also know what happens, on the field when you receive a complaint. I did receive quite a few, and the way I was jumping. So I have had a bird's eye view and a personal experience of both the scenarios. So this topic, I've been with LPC for, I think, over more than, I'll soon be completing a year maybe. So we have touched upon various topics in sales, marketing, leadership. But I honestly don't remember anybody touching base on complaining. Not complaining, complaint management. So I think this is the first ever presentation we had, Jagdeep, and you did it so beautifully. A lot of take homes for me as a coach, as a professional, in terms of behavior, language. How do we inculcate that when it comes to, of course, to the team members? How do they handle complaint? So that's about Jagdeep's deliberation. With Sudeep, you have done it so beautifully, short, crisp, and particularly with the 10 qualities that needs to go being a servant leader. Absolutely fabulously, you have shown. I'm a fanatic of human behavior. I've been observing and I've been doing a lot of studies and kind of researching my own area of interest. And extremely important is the self-awareness part. A leader who is not aware about his or her own being, the core, what represents, the value system that person carries, the behavior that person exhibits, and not only the way you exhibit, what kind of impact that behavior has on your team. That's the core sense of self-awareness. If you are not there, if you are not understanding this, everything else falls apart. So your emotional intelligence, your other qualities or other aspects of being a leader, the way you communicate, the way you carry yourself, the way you deal with your team, the way you deal with your challenges, it all kind of sprouts from self-awareness. So that is an extremely important element when it comes to leadership, of course, across the different styles, more so to servant leadership, because the core essence of servant leadership is serving. You are there to serve your team, enable them to do their task well and not your agenda as well. So that's the core essence of servant leadership. And you did it so fabulously, Sudeep. Kudos to you for that. And yet another fabulous Sunday, well spent. And I'm becoming a bigger fan of LPC as I grow with LPC and, as the days pass. So fantastic Sunday and a fantastic deliberation. And I'm so eager to hear Arpan's story. So over to you, Arpan.
Yeah, thank you so much, Purnima. Yes, the self-awareness, and more importantly, we are not able to find out where our maybe underdeveloped strengths lie, and that is what the blind spot is all about. So the Johari window, which plays a very important role for trainers to identify the blind spot of every person, and dwelling on those blind spot will definitely take us much ahead of others, because that's a place where we can arrest the so-called weakness. I don't use the word weakness. I always say underdeveloped strengths, because weakness always goes with a negative connotation. So that's a very good way of self-analysis and helping a mentor or a coach to analyze us and making us a better version of ourselves. So thank you so much, Purnima, for your wonderful analysis of both Jagdeep ji and Mr. Sudeep about their presentation. And as Sudeep said about the story, well, we were talking about motivation, we were talking about self-awareness, self-analysis, and so many things. So today's story goes like this. There was a man who was faced with a lot of depression. He was not happy. Very simple. He had forgotten how to laugh. So now there was a very renowned psychiatrist who was practicing somewhere near to the place where he used to stay. So one evening he thought, let me go to this psychiatrist, because I have heard a lot about this doctor, and many are patients who go to this doctor, they say that he's really good. So he paid a visit to this young psychiatrist, and then the doctor asked him what his challenges are. So as usual, he said that, doctor, I'm not feeling happy. I have lost my happiness. I have forgotten how to laugh. So please help me out. You are a very good doctor, and I have heard that from a lot of your patients. And please give me some medicine so that I can once again become happy. So the doctor said that you are a very young person. What is it that you are not happy with? He said that I'm not happy with life. I'm not happy with the way things are going. So for that reason, I'm feeling so very depressed. So the doctor said that you are a very young person, and unnecessarily giving you medicines is going to increase the pill burden. So the first thing I would like that I would start your treatment without giving any or prescribing any medicine. So do you know of a famous circus that is happening few meters away from my chamber? Well, the patient said, yes, I do know of that circus. Well, I will advise you to go to that circus once or twice. The patient asked, why? Well, there is a joker in that circus, and believe me, that joker is a wonderful joker, and every person who has visited that circus has laughed out loud after hearing the comedy that the joker does. So the doctor said, the patient asked that, do you think that that will help? Well, yes, I am very sure that that will help, because if you visit the circus and you hear the joker, you will find that you are also laughing. Now, the reply that this patient said was very surprising. He said that, sir, I am that joker. So friends, many of the times, people who make us laugh seldom get an opportunity to laugh themselves. So people who are on our hierarchy, we feel that they are the happiest of people. Sometimes they aren't the happiest. So let us spend a minute to ask them, sir, are you happy in life? Is there anything I can do for you? And I think this goes a long way in improving the relations of people and keeping people happy, because happy people can always do wonders which sad people cannot. So let us keep everybody happy. And this is a festival season, a session that is going on. And so let us spend some time in keeping people happy and make it a part of our organizational culture. So thank you so much, everybody, to our audience, to our wonderful speakers, and to my panelists for making this session LPC 132 so interesting and so very engaging. So on behalf of this young leadership on LPC 132, this is Arpan Kumar Paul telling goodbye to you on this warm Sunday afternoon, with a promise of reconnecting with you next week, not digitally, but physically at LPC 3.0 Conclave at SIES School of Business Studies, Mumbai. So please register immediately if you have not done, to avail the early bird. So see you next Sunday at Mumbai physically, where we are definitely going to have a very good interactive session and as well as great networking. So till then, it is goodbye and a wonderful Sunday to all of you. Thank you so much and namaste.
Thank you. Thank you
you.
so much. And as Sudeep ji has said, so we, in this leadership, we should make a comment to the people who we see that today you look very happy, and the person
Yes.
will definitely be happy in the heart. So thank you so
Exactly.
much for a wonderful session.
Thank you.
Everybody. Thank
Right.
you.
All the best. All the
Thank
best.
you.
Have a great day.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Have a
everyone.
great
So
day.
from here, I'm ending this meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.